wave after wave, slowly drifting.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and my name is Diana. Today I'm going to continue the Venus through the sign series, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about Venus in the sexy sign of Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is like a very popular sign of the zodiac because they're so complex and they're so mysterious and they're so friggin' sexy. But I'm a Scorpio sun, and I have like a shitload of planets in the 8th house, and Venus is one of them. So this kind of pertains to me, it kind of doesn't, because my Venus is in Sagittarius, and you know, I kind of like that it's in Sag. Otherwise, you know, too much Scorpio, I just can't with too much Scorpio off, because we're fucking complex as fuck. So what does Scorpio represent? Why is Scorpio so popular? Scorpio represents money, sex, death, regeneration, birth. Scorpio is a very, very powerful sign. People with a lot of Scorpio, you know, energy are either really fucking sexy for some weird reason, or weird as fuck. Weird in a dark way. So Venus is a little princess planet, and Venus represents your gifts. It's how you love, it's how a girl flirts, it's what type of a woman a guy's attracted to, and the types of women, you know, she dates through life. And is, you know, how Venus is how you like to be valued. It's what makes you beautiful. So when your Venus is in Scorpio, for some weird reason this makes you sexy as fuck. And when I think of Venus in Scorpio, I think of those people that aren't really that attractive, but there's just something about them. I think it's the Pluto and the Pluto effect that it has on Scorpio that just makes you a magnet. So it just makes you really sexy. Like, you really, if your Venus is in Scorpio, you have pussy thrown at you, you have dick thrown at you all the fucking time, and you just don't understand why. And you may even be very conservative. I mean, you may fucking cover yourself up and wear turtlenecks, but people are still drawn to you. Yeah, like I have my boyfriend, his Venus is in Scorpio, and it pisses me the fuck off because he always has like girls on him. You guys also find sex is really, really valuable to you, but you don't like that regular sex from person to person. I mean, you may if you have Gemini or Aries somewhere in your chart going crazy, but yeah, you want deep tantric sex. You like that out-of-body orgasmic experience in sex. That's what Venus in Scorpio wants, because Venus in Scorpio wants to connect with another person on a mental, physical, emotional level. It wants to understand, you know, the deep psychological dark side of you. Through sex, that's a good way to do it, because it's an out-of-body experience. They feel like that's a good way to do it. So yeah, Scorpio is a super psychological, penetrating sign, and it wants to understand dark things, but through sex that kind of just tops everything off. Scorpio can also be a very manipulative sign. So if your Venus is in Scorpio, you probably have a gift for manipulation, to get what you want out of people, and it's usually not in a for bad reasons. Venus in Scorpio just wants to make sure that they're not going to get harmed. Venus in Scorpio can be just, you know, that psycho boyfriend or girlfriend who ultimately doesn't want to get hurt themselves, but also wants to protect you in a way. Scorpio can also be a very controlling sign. It's controlling, and it's also a fixed sign. So when your Venus is in Scorpio, you're gonna want things your way, because you think things out very thoroughly, just to make sure that nobody's gonna get damaged. You're very careful with your moves. A Venus in Scorpio person is also that type of friend that can help you heal. Venus and Scorpio can be natural, you know, healers, because they understand when you're going through things. Here's the thing with somebody with a lot of Scorpio energy, or Venus and Scorpio even, you can talk to them about horrible things that happen in your life and they can help you heal from that. They're good people to vent to. Somebody with a lot of Scorpio energy isn't going to get traumatized by terrible things that have happened to you. So, a Venus and Scorpio person, I wouldn't say that Venus and Scorpio women or men are like man whores or sluts. They're not. Even though they have all of this sexual, they have this sexual vibe and appeal to them, they aren't really going to act on what they look like. They don't even really notice it. Here's the thing, it can be really hard to get a Venus and Scorpio to sleep with you because they have their own insecurities. They have a really strong fear of not being loved back and loved in a way that they can love, because if they're gonna go in, they're gonna go in 100%. A Venus and Scorpio has that insecurity of, you know, sharing their body or you know, sharing their soul with another person, and them not being able to understand, because they understand that themselves, that and they know that they're a little bit crazy on the inside. They just don't know if another person can handle that, and that's kind of scary for them. If your Venus is in Scorpio, you may love and enjoy and get value from, you know, learning things like astrology, learning about aliens, learning about, you know, crazy murder files, like all of the dark taboo things freaking that nobody likes to talk about. You can talk about them, you can learn about them without feeling traumatized or worn out at the end of the day. Like, you can like work at a forensic lab and, you know, investigate murder, investigate, you know, rape, all of those crazy dark things that the regular person wouldn't, or regular society wouldn't want to talk about. You do that. Whether it's like witchcraft, astrology, you guys can be really into that. A lot of the times, because Scorpio is 8th house and it's sudden events that happen, you know, with Venus and Scorpio, if it's in the 8th house or if it's aspected strongly by Pluto or something, it can be tough. They can be in really tough relationships where it's really draining. With Scorpio, certain things have to come to an end before something beautiful is born. So before they find the right partner, a lot of the times they go through a pretty bad relationship that hurts them really bad. Usually faces a fear, and for a lot of times for them, the fear is being betrayed in a relationship and being hurt really bad. So they go through that, because Scorpio is all about, you know, ending something horrible and giving birth to something beautiful. And after they go through a terrible relationship, then they end up being happy with another person and finding you know, really embracing the birth of something beautiful. So that's a Venus and Scorpio woman. They really have to go through that bad relationship first, that it, you know, it really deeply, it psychologically can even affect them. A lot of times these girls are sexy. They have flirty smiles, but they're not necessarily flirting with you. Mysterious sign. They can be really big teases, and they can leave you with wanting to know about them and their lives and, you know, who they are really. Venus and Scorpio, when I think of a Venus and Scorpio woman, I don't necessarily think of somebody who is like voluptuous and sexy like Sofia Vergara or Kim Kardashian. I don't think of that with Venus and Scorpio. I think of somebody like from 50 Shades of Grey, like that girl. You know, she's not really sexy, but there's just something about her. Like, that's a Venus and Scorpio. That's something that you can't figure out, but there's just something about them that you like. You need to know how to please a Venus and Scorpio guy sexually, because they are not, I mean, Venus and Scorpio usually aren't cheaters, but sex is a very important thing to them. If you're not providing you know, sexual pleasure to a Venus and Scorpio guy, they can have secret relationships where you wouldn't even know that they're like cheating on you or with somebody else. So that's why sex is a huge part, especially to Venus and Scorpio men. On the other hand, a Venus and Scorpio guy is usually going to end up with a lot of girls that are psychologically damaged. And Scorpio man especially needs a woman that can handle and actually nurture and embrace their power. A Venus and Scorpio guy also, although he does like sexy women, he doesn't like sluts. You know, a Venus and Scorpio guy rather, you know, likes a woman that can look really vulnerable but is still sexy at the same time, if you know what I mean. Like, again, that girl from 50 Shades of Grey. So that was my description on Venus and Scorpio. I hope that you guys enjoyed this.